We on the search for something innovative, original, revolutionary, and new forever. Transforming lives, revolutionizing, listening and being heard, sowing the good. Root of resistance, strong and deep. It will unite us, a people, a fruitful fight, like a tree with many branches, but one root in our endeavors. Strong root, power of the sun. Strong root, everything we need is here. Strong root.
Good people, good beautiful people. Welcome to More Than 2 Minutes, the podcast where we keep you dialed in from beginning to end. I'm your grateful host, Wil E, and thanks for checking out episode 1. In case you forgot, More Than 2 Minutes, the podcast is the community engagement arm for We Will for DeSoto TX, the movement we started during my recent city council campaign. Today's guest is someone who will roll with you like 4 flaps on a Cadillac, and that's for real. But not just knocking down doors and raising ceilings, because the impact is educational. From where they started to where they're headed is a journey of purpose, power, and perseverance. So pull up, lock in, and let's welcome Jamila Sherman, founder of J Sage Productions.
Hello. Thank you guys for having me. How y'all doing? How you doing, Will?
I'm doing really well. Okay, so before we get started, here at 2 minutes, I'm creating a tradition because I believe that it's important to give everyone their flowers when their flowers are due. And I know that coming on, taking time out of your day and everything, it's a sacrifice. So to commemorate this moment, I wanted to provide you with a
thank
gift.
you. You deserve your flowers.
Yeah, you deserve your flowers today. So that's what it's about, making sure we provide everyone with an opportunity to receive their flowers when their flowers are due, not when people want to give them their flowers.
Greatly appreciate that.
No worries.
Thank you guys. Honored to be here. Honored to be the first.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our tea, right? We're here at Greenhouse Lounge and Wellness Center. I remember when I was doing the campaign, this was the place that invited us in, so to speak. There were a few places that we had an opportunity to go to, but Benicia Jones and everyone at Greenhouse, they just let us come in, let us make it home and everything. So now that we had a podcast rolling, I definitely wanted to do the first episode here, and this will be home-based.
Yes. Happy to see that they're still flourishing. You probably kicked off the campaign, about 6 months ago?
Yeah.
6 months ago.
Yeah.
So, in DeSoto,
I know.
being still standing after 6 months, that's a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you guys can keep that relationship really going long term.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, More Than 2 Minutes is about talking about a journey. So a lot of times people tell you, well, you need to have your elevator speech ready in case that right situation or scenario is in front of you. And so you can speak to the executive or speak to the investors and boom, get whatever funds you need. Or when I was doing the campaign, they'd ask us a question at a forum and give us basically 2 minutes to solve world problems, right? But I believe that life is about the journey. It's not about the destination. So that's why I'm saying that we need more than 2 minutes to tell our story. And so I know that you, being an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who's rocking in these streets, okay, it's not easy, but I want to give you a platform to talk about your story. So let's start at the beginning, the origin story, okay? Who are you?
I love that question, but let's see if I can kind of sum it up. So, Jamila Sherman, born and raised in Dallas, Texas, Dallas native.
Yeah.
From the Oak Cliff area. My family's been residing in DeSoto for about 2 decades now, but our roots is Oak Cliff. So I went to TMU. I went away for undergrad, but I came back and went to UNC Dallas and got my MBA. So always just passionate about anything dealing with southern part of Dallas, just seeing that growth, Black economics and all of those things. So when I was actually studying for my MBA at UNC Dallas, we had a requirement in our entrepreneurship class to create a business in order to graduate. So I had a lot of friends who were in the entertainment space, doing music and things like that. And I was studying strategic management.
Okay.
So I just kind of married the two. I'm helping my homeboys throw concerts and promote their albums and things like that. And it kind of just snowballed, and I started getting more versed in entertainment on the festival side and event side for corporation. So, yeah, that's what I do. That's been my passion. Everything about that is just kind of been my thing. I help you with the campaign and marketing. I've been able to marry the two and being on the board with the city of DeSoto, dealing with the arts. But overall, that's me. In my free time, I'm even trying to go look at a museum or something.
Right. You see, that's the one thing I forgot during the setup is that you are on the DeSoto, Texas Cultural Arts Foundation. But before we talk about that, I want to go back to you being an Oak Cliff baby.
Yes.
Okay. All right. See, now, I know when we met, I remember you saying that you were from Oak Cliff, but my brain is not. You're an Oak Cliff baby. Okay, I'm an Oak Cliff baby. Okay. So let's talk about Oak Cliff, because I believe Oak Cliff, Texas is a unique little city within a city of its own, right? So let's talk about some of your early years, the origin of when you figured out that being an entrepreneur, because I'm certain that when you were younger, maybe middle school, high school, those early years, you had to feel something that said, you know what? I'm going to pave my own path. So did you have any moments like that?
Actually, I was on the track to be a lawyer. So I went to Townview to be an attorney.
All right.
And I was in a law magnet and I was studying law. I used to intern for Brian Longcar when he was alive.
Yeah.
And I was on that path. Then I had one internship I'll never forget with, her name is Teresa Coleman. She's the founder of what was once called Tico Theatrical Productions, is now, I believe, the Bishop Arts, the Black women.
Right.
And I had an internship there. It was free, unpaid, but it was just my first time being in the arts and working with another entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And just seeing her birth that and want to live that, I immediately went back to my law teacher at the time. I think it was my senior year. And I was like, I don't want to get paid for my internship this year. I want to work and help this lady build her business for free. And they were just like, girl, you've been in here studying in high school, practicing and studying to go to law school. I did a complete 180. So by the time I graduated high school, I went into undergrad for marketing.
Okay.
But even then, I didn't really think about doing my own thing. Just I liked helping people promote what they were passionate about.
Okay.
So similar to how I helped you. You were passionate about politics and just changing the world, and I felt I can add to that. But the entrepreneur side definitely came when I was just seeing the need for it, especially when I was studying for my MBA.
Okay.
And being around so many people who had just great ideas, and I was like, I know how to get people interested.
Yeah.
I know how to spread the word.
Yeah.
A lot of my professional career too, people have told me I'm the one that is good at bringing people in the circle, opening the circle, getting everyone to sit down and talk and kumbaya.
Right.
So I feel as though I could turn that into a business overall.
So now you're leaving Oak Cliff, the confines of home, and you're venturing into Denton, right? Denton, Texas.
I went to
UNT Dallas.
Yes, so the one that's in Oak Cliff.
Okay.
Yeah, right over there.
Oh, so you stayed in Oak Cliff. So you're an Oak Cliff baby.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say overall, my life has really been everything south of the Trinity River, everything south of Loop.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I did a little living. I lived in Addison for a couple of years, but yeah, maybe I need to venture. Maybe I would have so many.
No, I think you're doing. I think you're doing well the way that you're doing and everything. Okay, so going through college years, right? Let's talk about those college moments, all right, for a minute, because I always believe that the road that we're on, there are a lot of intersections, there are a lot of off ramps, there are a lot of on ramps, right? Growing up in Oak Cliff, right? And then going to college in Oak Cliff, that transition and everything. Let's talk about Jamila in college.
Yeah, well, that's a good part because I went to undergrad in Louisiana where there's a lot of, I would say, just mom and pop family-owned businesses.
Right.
So that helped me realize, too, that the family business is a real thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are graduating college to go home and run their business. And I was just like, wow, there's a need for entrepreneurship is like a thing in certain parts of the country and in certain things. So that kind of helped me embrace it even more. And then I was in Louisiana.
Yeah.
I started freshman year in New Orleans.
Oh, Lord.
The year the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Oh, no.
So it was a lot going on down there. I'll never forget. We went to college. I think the first week was like orientation or something. And they bused us to the French Quarter.
Oh,
the school
no.
bus, freshmen.
What?
Most of us ain't even from the area.
Girl, what did that GPA look like at the end of
the city shut down. It was New Orleans, and the city shut down to celebrate the Saints winning the Super Bowl. So I guess they kicked it off for the NFL season, but it was a culture shock. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot going on, but that definitely help mold me and help understand too. A lot of people in college running their own businesses. Some people in college, non-traditional. They've already helped their parent with their family business. They come into school to get the professional side and take it back to their family. So there was a lot of that in New Orleans, in Louisiana, and just that rich traditional culture out there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about being down there. It was
very, very different. To be frank, my parents said, you've been used to being around Black folks, you ain't been around nothing. But and say that, so to speak, is Dallas is very traditional. There's not much family ownership. There's not much mom and pop. There are a lot of chain restaurants, a lot of chain businesses, a lot of national Fortune 500 companies. So to see that type of ecosystem was different.
But
overall, I had a ball in Louisiana. I took a minute and went back. For a minute, and actually was a news producer and had a child and lived
Wait, what? Oh, okay, roll back. Okay, I want to.
So but when I moved back and joined the board, I was in Louisiana for a year, living with my daughter, father, and doing the happy thing. Also being a news producer in Lafayette.
Okay, let's talk about the news producer part. All right, because see, I always have. No, I'm serious. Okay, so when it comes to producing news, is there like a template that y'all follow?
There is a script. News is scripted 100%.
Yeah.
And you have a news director who is approving your script. So if the program isn't sounding how he wants it to sound that day, then you edit your script.
Really?
However, that was very chaotic and demanding. I think my daughter at the time was like 6 months. And you need to be there. If it's breaking news, you need to be there. And the news don't pay. I'll be real. Broadcast in that industry is definitely seeing a decline. So I'll be honest, it's people at Buc-ee's and Chick-fil-A who was making more money than I was being a news producer for 2 shows. I produced a news show and a 4:00 show, and I was making less than $20 an hour.
Oh, wow.
So it's very fun, very fast-paced, great for your younger 20s. But after that, I did it. It was good. I'm happy what I'm doing now. Trying to impact a city, I would say.
Okay.
Or just those around me.
All right. So I definitely want to transition and talk about J Sage Productions. So J Sage Productions, all right, I'm going to start with the name because I think, everything important in life has a specific name that really defines that importance, right? Okay, it's like the name that you were either given at birth or the name that we sometimes change to, or if we're doing projects, or you know how artists are, we're going to come up with a name, a nickname, or whatever the case would be. J Sage Productions. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know really sure about the name. I believe the J part was just a nickname I had. People call me J all the time. And the Sage part came from, I wanted to keep my initials the JS. So I was trying to think of other terms that started with the S, but symbolized somebody wise. And that's what the word sage means. It was like an expert, someone who's wise. Okay. So I just married the two and submitted my paper when I was in grad school.
And the rest
was history. I've actually thought about renaming it a few times, but like you said, the words you speak over your business, over your life, is what you want to speak into existence. So I'll just figure J and then Sage, and we keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that you did some work with South by Southwest, and I remember when South by Southwest was on a block. It was 6th Street.
And see, I didn't experience it back then. So
those the good old days.
Origin.
Yeah, those are good old days.
Yes, I saw it around about that era from like 2016 to 2018, where it was, I would say, at its peak. I don't want to say it's declined now, but I'm sure it's probably not as grassroots as when you saw it.
Right.
And passionate. We're going to use that word.
Yeah. It was, to me, it felt more like an indie fest.
Yeah.
It was very grassroots. You had a lot of alternative acts that were coming through, a lot of breakthrough acts.
Yes.
They didn't have all these different elements. It was basically music. Yeah. And that's the thing that I loved about it. And as a musician, that was the goal.
Yeah.
Do South by Southwest.
Exactly. And if you got found or discovered there, that was what you needed.
That was the that was the ramp. It was gonna take you to where hopefully take you to where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
But now it's international. They've got fashion, they got food, podcast, film, all types of stuff. And so on the one hand, I appreciate it.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I miss those early years.
I do too. And around that time when I was working with it, I would say my expertise when I was dealing solely with artists was the booking, the PR, and the management. So different artists I would work with throughout Dallas would just be trying to use me to book them different shows and different concerts during that South by Southwest week. And then I would put together their EPKs or their media kits or just try to make sure they maximize their exposure when they were down there.
Yeah.
To your point, I haven't been too versed in the music and entertainment scene. I'm working with some artists out here now. They would love to do a concert with you. But yeah, I think like you're saying, it's so many other pieces and corporations involved now. And then music doesn't seem as organic. It's really if you got enough streams and enough views. You can go straight to the top. You know, a lot of artists don't even, like right now, I'm currently trying to fill the spot for a headliner for the DeSoto Artist Lab Festival. They you helped us put together last year. And just going through artists locally. Who knows how to perform? Who knows who could we put on stage in the heat and still give us a show or play original music and all of that. So I think that piece is in.
Yeah. And it's interesting you said that because when it comes to performing artists nowadays, so many artists are used to performing for video.
Yeah.
To a video audience.
Yeah, that's
content,
true. That's
opposed to getting on a stage and really being able to rock a crowd, to take that vibe, that energy. And it's almost like, what I'm going to give you, you're going to give it right back to me. What you're going to give me, I'm going to give it right back to you. And so there's a real partnership in that performance, which, and I didn't even think about this, but seeing that you were down in Louisiana for a while, all right? And I know that they're totally different in terms of music, per se, and culture. But South by Southwest versus the Essence Fest. Okay. Now, I know that they're different culturally. I know the music is different. I know even the crowds are different. But in terms of the festival, the energy, the ability to network, the ability to grow, which would you say is edging out more than this? And I know, hey, I don't want to put you on the spot because J Sage Production could be producing Essence Fest in about 5 years. Could be producing South by Southwest in 3 years. You don't want to burn any bridges, but just us and the 4 walls and the ceiling plate.
The greenhouse.
The greenhouse.
Yeah. I think they were birthed with different objectives in mind. So I think South by Southwest was like you were saying, the organic, grassroots, passionate artists who's trying to get discovered and roll with that.
Right.
Essence Festival was from Essence Magazine, which is the magazine for the sister girls, for sisterhood and Black women and empowering. I think it was more of a event to go hang out with your girlfriends, feel good, feel motivated, and things like that. I think Essence always has the potential to be great and amazing because of where it is. It's in New Orleans. And it's such an annual event there now. And the corporations, the artists buy-in is Black backed, as in the foundationally for African Americans. South by Southwest, I think, is still a great concept.
Right.
I think it's now almost on a global level. So I just think as it grows, it probably just has to keep in mind its foundation. Are you serving the artists that are on SoundCloud, or are you serving the artists that are performing at arenas? And serving the entrepreneur who's looking to get funded for $3 million. What is the sole heart?
And
then too, I don't know if you've seen the discourse on the internet about, I think Essence Festivals, or the CEO of Essence is native to Africa. She's not African American.
No.
So there's been a diaspora conversation. A lot of the things are for Black American women, but more first generation Africans. There has been some like discourse about that. But to Essence point, and I'm always rep from my Oak Cliff girls, it is definitely a forced bias event.
Yeah.
We all Black at the end of the day, 100% agree.
Oh, yeah.
But just remember the roots.
Yeah. See, I used to go to Essence Fest all the time, like every year.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, and I even performed there, like in the small sets. It's like they used to have the little small sets off to the side. Never made it to the main stage, right? But I look at it like this, okay? I didn't leave the Essence Fest. Essence Fest loved me. And the reason I say that is I remember when they used to have like really unique artists.
See, I'm not familiar with Essence Fest too much on the music side.
Yeah. They used to have
underground, because I've been to the concerts, but that's about it.
Yeah, even with the concerts, they used to have like unique artists, up and coming artists. The neo soul years, I think they were the best years, to be quite honest. But then they fell into this, let's keep doing what has worked. So we're gonna keep bringing you Frankie Beverly. We're going to keep bringing you Mary J.
Yeah.
We're going to keep bringing you Maxwell.
What was working.
Yeah, and it's year after year, and it's the same thing. So it's turned into this family reunion thing,
that makes
which is cool, right?
Point.
And I think there's definitely an audience for that. But for me, I want to go in and I really want to experience the creatives.
Right.
I want to experience the person who's right on that edge. I don't want to hear Mary J. Blige, sing.
5th year in a row.
singing
Doing the boot kid.
Right. Okay, now, so that's interesting because one thing that you touched on is Black females. And I want to get into talking about your journey as a Black female entrepreneur, okay? Because that's a lesson, or at least the things that you've learned. I think that's what's going to resonate with that next generation, because right now you're part of the frontier. You're part of the ones the group that's shaping this space. And so you have young Black girls coming up and they're looking at you because you're older, but you're not too far away from their cultural, imprint, right? So let's talk about that. So you're part of this, I call almost everything space, right? Because I believe we have to have room to operate in, right?
Yeah.
And so space provides you with that real estate. I had a conversation just a few days ago, and I was explaining to someone that I prefer operating based off of a blue sky definition opposed to a box definition. Because if you have to say, I think outside the box, the next question should be, why is there a box anyway? But when you look at blue sky, you look up, it's just a blue sky and you can create whatever you want. There are no parameters, right? Okay, so with J Sage, I'm looking at it as blue sky. Here you are, an Oak Cliff baby, Black female, and an entrepreneur in the entertainment and production space. All right, let's talk about how you navigate in this space. Let's start with the challenges first.
I think you probably addressed them right there, which is being a female. Women, we already have those natural barriers, whereas sometimes you are expected to do things. The relationships are expected to be transactional, we'll say that.
Right.
And that can happen a lot more cases than none. I've been in a situation before where back in the day, I was doing a lot of concerts and promoting and things like that. And to be honest, it was like either you in or you out. And I was like, I'm out. And the phone stopped ringing. So that does happen. But what I will say is my work has spoke for itself. The events I've done, the people I've worked with, the situations I've been able to put other people in and them vouch for me has, I would say, been a great deal. So really just at the end of the day, remember you there to get the job done.
Right.
If so-and-so is a distraction or if a situation is a distraction, handle it later. Get the job done first.
Yeah.
If some opportunities are removed from you, let that be. Because I've been in situations too before where I was working with somebody on a few events, a series of events, didn't hear from that person anymore. And lo and behold, they had somebody on their head because they owed them some money. That's just how God works sometimes. Just do good, be on top of it. Always try to be the smartest in the room, but don't be afraid to ask for help and guidance. I asked for a lot of guidance. I had a lot of women around me in my corporate career that I wouldn't mind asking from advice from. If there is somebody you just grab lunch with twice a year, do it. And just go from there. But at the end of the day, be there for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be there for your business. In fact, one of the reasons that I was okay leaving the entertainment space is because of the masculine toxicity, male toxicity. And it gets to a point where, absolutely. It gets to a point where you're just like, why? But I grew up with two sisters, and it was my mom and my dad. It was a very traditional household, right? But the women, they were like powerful. They were strong. They were like Ebony with the afro, with the fist held up type of strong, right? And so that male or masculine toxicity, it permeates the entertainment world, no matter if it's film or if it's music or if it's behind the scenes or if it's even in the event promotion space. It's always as though it seems to drill down to transactional situations. And it's really sad because I think humanity is like a car battery. We got to have plus and we got to have negative, positive, negative energy, right? And so we have to be able to exist with one another as male, as female, because that creates balance, right?
Correct.
And so when you have too much of one thing and that toxicity, and then here you come with your ideals and but he really not feeling my words, you know.
Or he probably is feeling my words and he's making his own notes, but he has the keys to the operation. So he's the one who's in contact with maybe the promoter, the guy who's giving the money to pay the artist.
Right.
And he can get you in the door and help you be the stage manager for this show.
Right.
But is you going to drinks with him after y'all have this meeting?
Right.
No, you're not. All right, he done took your idea and now you're seeing it happen in fruition. So unfortunately, it does happen. And seeing things like, sadly, like the whole Diddy situation, it makes you think the taboo, which is you've been in the entertainment world, stuff like that does happen.
Right.
And you think of the level, I'm working with artists who got mixtapes. I'm not working with no Grammy platinum selling musicians. So you can only imagine the extent of which people are going to for that level of fame and fortune and all of those things. Yeah. Get your job done and leave.
Oh, yeah. You definitely got to get your job done. In fact, one of the last things I did before I was like, you know what, I'm done. There was an artist, my cousin, Terry McGill, he has a production company. He worked for Atlantic back in the day as an A&R director,
and
right?
He knows a lot then. Atlantic, I'm sure.
You had Atlantic, you had RCA, and then you had Def Jam, right? So he cycled through all of these. But he was bringing artists into town, so really well-known rap artists came to town, right? And he said, hey, Will, so you're assigned to this artist. Now, I'm not going to mention the artist's name because I don't want to get sued, okay? He said, you're assigned to this artist. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, it's like going to be a mentor-mentee type of thing, even though I'm not doing rap, but I was doing beats for rappers, right? So I go to the airport and I pick up the guy and his crew. They told me I had 2 jobs, basically. Make sure I had their Don Julio.
They drink.
Yeah, make sure I had their drink and make sure there was no gap in females being rotated in front of them.
Oh,
okay. And so I'm like, wait, hold on. Huh?
Why accomplished it?
Right. So I'm like, cuz, man, no, dude, we can't do that this week. He was like, okay, I need you at least for Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, okay. So we take them to the club, they do their performance and everything. And then it was just a matter of handing out cards, taking numbers, handing out cards, taking numbers. And after that, I was like, no, it's transactional because of the promises that these guys are making to the females, the singers or the female rappers. And at that point in time, they're like, hey, I can make you a star. And then you got Twilight Eyes saying, yeah, of course you can. But that's enough talk about the bottom side of the entertainment, or at least the space that you operate. Okay, let's talk about that upside, all right? The things that you really like.
Yeah. So I would say overall, I'm passionate about just management, whether that be event management, artist management. Right now, it's definitely more towards event and production management. I like seeing things and putting things together and watching that come to fruition. But that's what I would say is the most exciting part is seeing people's passion and visions come to fruition, whether that be a concert, a festival, or some sort of something that brings people together.
Okay.
And I like that's what a lot of my work does is it brings people together.
Yeah.
Whether it be through interest in a certain song, a certain artist, a certain issue, political issue, or a topic. So I think that's what's beautiful about it is people like to support me really because they just know I'm going to get at least some good people in the room too.
Right.
I'm a good person. I think I am, and hopefully everybody else around me does. But overall, people will like to support whether it be an event, a concert, a workshop, because they know there are other like-minded individuals in there that are all towards some sort of niche.
Right.
I feel as though that's the plus side of my work is that you can honestly say I'm not doing anything out here that's negatively impacting the community, which would be the African American community, the small business community, the political community. It's all about forward thinking.
Yeah. So it's forward thinking. It sounds like there's some paying it forward as also.
For sure. Because women paid it for me. I had an internship. I think my first real business internship was at Mary Kay in Addison.
Oh, yeah?
And it's when the chief marketing officer is a Black woman.
Okay.
Just reached out to her and got it. So it's just, how else we gonna get the next group moving along if we not extending those opportunities? That's just my motto.
Yeah.
When girls ask me for advice, I give it.
Yeah.
I'm always lending an ear and giving free game to game. And it could be free, but you ain't me. So it doesn't matter. I'm not a gatekeeper at all because I know at the end of the day, my work don't speak for itself and I am who I am. So the result is just going to be different. But
have you ever had an event and you pulled everything together and then the day of the event, everything just came apart and you eventually fell flat?
I would say one, trying to think, maybe one. I've had one that just my turnout didn't turn out the way I did. So there was a point I used to work for the Dallas Entrepreneur Center Network when they were in Redbird, but not in the nice part they in now. When it was first under construction back in like 2020.
Okay.
So when the parking lot and stuff was gravel. So it was just a lot of visual and just building things that would deter people coming to our event.
Okay. But you never been in one of those situations where you rented gear, then the day of you went to go get the gear and it was
For
gone?
example, how you guys have this set up right here. I am production, but I'm director.
Yeah.
I am not the person to get behind that camera.
Okay.
So if I do not have a person, and it's happened plenty of times,
Okay.
all the if there's equipment, if I don't have someone there with me, you can hang it up. But yeah, normally the show must go on.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person where do we have a projector? Do we got a microphone? Do we got a Zoom link? What can we do? What can we do?
Okay.
But I also believe in delegating tasks. So I'm an expert at the management part, but I know I'm not the expert photographer. Hire a photographer. Just trying to make sure everything is executed smoothly. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flow person. If he blow up the day of, we're planning this festival. If we don't get 1,000 people, if we land with 100 people, the show must go on.
The show
must go on.
See, I'm glad you think that way. Look, when I was doing poetry, I got booked in Connecticut to open for a comedian, right? Okay, now I didn't know the comedian didn't know me. The promoters booked us separately. But the promoter thought that it would be a good idea to bring these two elements together, right? So I get up there and I do the whole soulful, cool, laid back poetry set, right? And I got my track playing behind me. I get off and I go back to the back and to the bar and I'm chilling. Comic comes up there. The first 10 minutes of his show, he spent putting me up in my poetry.
No.
And it was like, oh my gosh. But I had to stay there until the very end so I could get my money.
Oh, wow.
If I wouldn't gotten the money beforehand,
Oh, you would have been gone.
oh, I would have been gone. And so it was so funny because they kept putting a little spotlight back there on me. You know,
did he not have material if you wasn't a
oh, yeah,
selling
he
job?
did have his material, but he didn't see the need to have poetry open up for comedy. All right.
Oh, okay.
He's thinking that it's two totally different
Yeah.
spaces. Okay. So the spaces coming together, and because he was the headliner, of course he was making way more than. It's like he flies up. Maybe it was business, but I flew up. I'm right next to the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
That's the ticket they gave me. And then I ended up having to sleep on the promoter's sofa because the motel they booked me into. Yeah.
It wasn't up to par.
Nah, it was less than up to par. Look, rats wouldn't even stay in it. That motel, it was
not
awful. It was awful. So we talked about your origin story. We talked about your journey, Jay Sage. We talked about being on the frontier, on the front lines, part of this space for the ones that are behind you looking at you, right? And I know that there's pressure in being an entrepreneur. I know there's a lot of pressure. Business owner, and I'm still gonna go back to Oak Cliff baby, Black female, entrepreneur, business owner, all right? And mother, all right?
Yeah.
Can't forget that. So you have a lot of things cooking and brewing, and there's a lot of responsibility. With the responsibility comes stress. So I want to really get into the mental health aspect of taking care of yourself as an entrepreneur, as a Black female entrepreneur. Mental health, all right? I think when it comes to taking care of yourself, each and every person, we have to take care of the physical, the emotional, spiritual, and the mental. And it's challenging. It's really hard because life is not going to slow down. If anything, it's going to speed up.
Yeah.
So you have to take those moments, take the time to say, no, I'm going to pause and I'm going to do something healthy for myself. So I want to really talk about what are those healthy things. And the Jamila who's here today, what would she say to the 5-year-old, the 10-year-old, the 15-year-old Jamila who's maybe going through whatever challenges were percolating back then?
I would say, I'll answer the last one first. To the younger me, I would say to not put so much pressure on figuring out exactly what you're going to do or just what path you're going to take career-wise, because it just naturally ebbs and flows. Over time, it just falls into place.
Right.
There is no straight path. Don't compare. Run your own race. As far as taking a break stuff, the first part is to do work you're passionate about. So it's not driving me so crazy. When you do have to slam that laptop closed and just work outside, I do that a lot. I take my laptop and I work on somebody's coffee shop, somebody's patio. Just the environment you're in plays a big part of it. Knowing when to cut work off.
Oh, yeah, that's
I'm still in corporate America, but I work from home. I work hybrid. So that working from home is great, but sometimes they don't remember. You have to have, when you're in the office, because we do both.
Yeah.
We work less in the office than we do at home.
Yeah.
Because at the office, you stopping by your coworkers. They're talking, you getting coffee, you parlaying, you might be playing put. At home, ding, 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 ding. Those notifications are nonstop. Make sure you set boundaries, even if it's a calendar reminder. No work.
Right.
From 6 till tomorrow. No work. So just really those boundaries I set forth in myself and planning just outings. If it's something I see I want to do, just maybe a festival or concert, I put it in my calendar. I prioritize fun.
Right.
You gotta prioritize fun. I have a lot of friends who are married with multiple kids, and they're like, how are you still outside? Because one, y'all know me, my daughter's gonna be with me, or two, I make sure I prioritize. You have to really wake up and choose to be happy. You have to choose it.
That's important.
You can't, it might be hard at night, but joy comes in the morning.
Right.
I just prioritize what makes me fun. If they done went crazy in the emails today at work, I'm closing my laptops and I'm going to Glorious for dinner that night. For me, it has to be instant too. I can't be stressed and sitting something for too long.
Yeah, yeah.
That's another thing too. Don't let what's frustrating you frustrate you for too long.
Yeah.
Because then it just turns into resentment, and then you hurting yourself more than the situation by sitting and being frustrated. So whatever makes me happy, fun, being outside, being outdoors, being with family, traveling, I make sure that's on the calendar first.
Yeah.
And then the work falls
absolutely.
around.
I totally agree. This is one of the things you said that, I always say peace is a choice. Joy is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And we have to remember that, because in everything we do, we can only control what we control, right? And that part of what we control should be the part that brings us joy, peace, and happiness. I think sometimes it just gets lost in the shuffle.
Sorry to cut you off, but I always tell my friends, and I have trouble with this too, don't let things you can't control get you upset.
Yeah.
So you can't be lingering on things, a way a person is acting and thinking, you can't control that person. You can't do nothing about it. Yeah.
It seems like social media, it really gets folks up in arms.
And I take breaks. I'll delete Instagram for a month.
Yeah.
If I have it download, I really would be off Instagram if it wasn't for my clients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'll get off the app for a while. Facebook just here so my cousins in California can see my baby. Really? Yeah.
It's like you said, you got to take breaks.
Yeah.
You got to take breaks. This is a fun part of the podcast.
Okay.
Right? So
we're fun.
So we're going to see how this flows, all right? All right. Favorite group? Music group.
Ooh, that's hard. I would say Drew Hill. Drew Hill. I love the Gap Band. I love Earth, Wind and Fire. I love Maroon 5. So I would say them. And my girl group, hold on, I'll give you all the groups. TLC and SWV.
Okay.
My girl.
Okay. TLC and SWV. Now, if TLC and SWV went on a concert, who would headline?
TLC out of popularity.
You think?
Out of popularity.
Okay.
Because they just think they don't think they bigger. But SWV gonna have everybody out there singing.
Hey, you didn't even think about In Vogue. Read my mind.
Yeah.
That's what followed.
I like SWV though.
You like SWV?
Yeah.
Okay. What about movies? You got a favorite movie?
I have a couple.
You can't say Friday.
No, I wouldn't give it to Friday. I love Ice Cube. Would never help you with anything Ice Cube. I love Brown Sugar. I was watching this the other day. Brown Sugar.
Brown Sugar. Okay.
I like anything Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
I do Leonardo DiCaprio.
So how many times have you seen Titanic?
I'm not that big on Titanic, but like Shutter Island, Django. He got quite a few.
Okay.
Gilbert Grape. But yeah. Okay. I can't think of too many right now.
All right. Favorite place to vacation?
I like anything by water. So I went to Cancun last year for the first time. So that was nice.
Okay.
Yeah, but anything by water.
Anything by water?
Yeah.
Okay. You got a favorite city in the U.S.? New York, Chicago, L.A.,
favorite
New Orleans.
City too. I was about to say favorite city, food, travel, and eat would be New Orleans.
Okay.
Travel to relax. I've been to Seattle.
Yeah,
I really like Seattle.
Seattle depresses me though because of the rain.
Everybody says that, but it wasn't too heavy. It was like a little drizzle when we was there. But
okay.
It was fun. Yeah. Depends on the energy I want on that trip. Do I want to turn up? I'm going to Atlanta, Miami. If I want to do touristy museums, I'll go to DC.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Pizza, taco, or barbecue?
Tacos.
Taco? Like regular tacos?
Yeah.
With like
some shrimp fajita tacos or something.
But that's not a real taco though, because it's got shrimp in it.
What's a real taco?
A real taco only has taco meat.
Oh, like ground beef?
Yeah.
Oh. Then I'll say barbecue. I'll say barbecue. I could go for a chopped brisket.
Okay.
Baked potato. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Greenhouse got a real good, they got a brisket.
I need to look at their menu. It keeps changing. I see it. Loaded brisket cheeseburger.
Yeah.
On that song.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the loaded fries. They have brisket fries.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's good. You like your tea?
It's good.
Okay, that's
It's
the
good.
hibiscus
Everything
tea.
is good here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right. Flying, taking a bus, or driving yourself in the car?
It depends. No, I'm not even gonna say driving because I'll be tired just driving to Houston. I would say
Okay.
I don't
Now,
like driving.
let me ask you this, all right? 'Cause I believe that if you ride with someone as a passenger, you can learn everything you need to know about them. If they're patient, okay? If they're judgmental,
Okay.
if they're selfish, if they're kind, simply by the way they drive. What do you think about this?
I think that could be true. I think that could be true, especially if it's a long car ride.
Yeah,
Because you're going to give many different situations.
Yeah, they're going to move over in the lane without putting the signal light on.
Yeah, they're going to get sleepy a little bit at one time.
Yeah,
So,
and then say, no, I can still drive. Put your life in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as they drive to knowing I ain't got to drive.
Right. Okay, favorite time of day, AM, PM?
AM, early AM. I love that before the kids get up AM, that 5 to probably 7 AM when the world is quiet and I can get up, work out, pray, journal,
Yeah.
and get my mind right before the world begins rowdying up and the notifications get to going off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final, this or that, Michael Jackson or Prince?
That is very hard. How y'all gonna ask people that one?
Yeah, that's a good one there.
That one, yes, but it's unfair.
No.
That kind of snaps me out the sky.
Now, as long as you're not talking about Beyonce, you good.
Oh, Lord. Dang, that one is hard. I'll be honest. Whose music I could just listen to casually? Prince. I could just play some Prince.
Early Prince, late Prince. Because Prince, okay, he was like a roller coaster.
But if I just want to sing, if I could go to a concert, would go for Michael Jackson.
Really?
I would go to Michael Jackson. Entertainer.
Yeah, see,
entertainer. Prince is great musician.
That's true.
And could give me the instrument.
Yeah.
But maybe when I think of a show, I'm thinking Michael Jackson.
Okay. Now, a quick question. Okay, now, because you're in that production space, where would you recommend sitting at a concert? In the first 10 rows, the balcony? Because nowadays, getting a concert seat in the balcony, that's like $100.
If it's $100, it might be $300 for the nosebleed.
Exactly. You sit down on the floor, that's $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
So it's gotten really crazy.
Yeah.
All right. But in terms of being able to experience the best version of the concert, what would you sit? If you had to pay.
I would probably sit and see, that's a good point because the floor is the floor and a lot of people stand and then you sitting on the floor and everybody standing up and then you're short like me. So it don't even matter. I would say that the balcony, or not even the bleeds, I would say that first balcony row, but like towards the front, if you could get up there. So where you elevated, but you're not on the floor, but you also close enough to see what's going on the stage and don't have to watch the Jumbotron.
See, I like that because Vivian and I, we went to 2 concerts. Okay, one was Alicia Keys. Okay. When Alicia Keys actually sung a song, I think it was maybe 5 feet in front of Vil. It was less than 5 feet. You know,
y'all on the floor?
Oh yeah, we were on the floor. But she had a secondary stage that was set up. Okay, so through the grapevine, I found out how the concert was going to flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so she was going to be on the primary stage, but she was going to have her piano set up like in the middle of the audience.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? That's where we're going to get the ticket.
That's for that secondary stage. Yeah. That's smart.
And it was like right in front. So when she came out and she was right there, and then when she came down from her piano, it's like she's singing, Vil singing. I'm like, look at that. The second concert was Pink. And it was exactly like you said. Because
doesn't she fly around?
She does. Our seats were off to the side, okay? But they were on the first elevated section. Okay, and there was no one in front of us. We had a clear sight line to the stage. Now they had these huge monitors up, right? And that kind of it really brought additional value to the experience. But to be able to see her is, oh, that's a pinkish, bluish belt she has on because we were just that close. So, so that was cool. But I definitely agree with you. It's like you have to really pay attention to where you want to sit your experience for that event.
Yes. And I haven't been to an arena concert in a while. I've been to some small intimate ones like at the Foundation Room or something like that. But yeah, that's a good point. You got to consider because they be flying, Beyonce be in the car, in the sky and stuff.
See, but those arena concerts versus the stadium concerts, that's a totally, I don't like stadium concerts because to bring in 70,000 people for an artist.
That many people.
Oh, yeah.
You're
when
right.
they have it at AT&T.
You're right.
Because American Airlines, the arena. That's an arena concert.
And the Cowboys is a stadium.
Yeah, that's a stadium concert. Yes. I can do 30,000 as long as I'm in that first 1,000 to 1,500 people.
I didn't realize the crowd different at the two facilities.
Yeah, when they do I think when Beyonce, when she came, she did a 2-day show. She's doing them at the stadium so that they can maximize that gate. Yeah.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
And see, that's how you know how the concert flows.
Yeah.
How to maximize that ROI. Okay.
Yep. So, Jamila, thank you for joining me today on this episode 1. I'm really, really happy that you are the guest for this experience.
Yes, and I hope this actually, births and continues to grow.
Yeah.
I was so excited to see, being passionate and on fire for DeSoto, Texas.
Yeah.
And whatever else path you guys have. So thank you for having me. I hope to keep flourishing. I hope it gets live and picked up soon.
Oh, yeah, we're going national. We're going national. We're going national. So thank you, everyone, for checking out this first episode of More Than 2 Minutes. We'll catch you on the flip side. We're out.
Beyond the surface, something innovative, original, revolutionary, and new forever. Transforming lives, revolutionizing, listening and being heard, sowing the good. Root of resistance, strong and deep, it will unite us, a people, a fruitful fight, like a tree with many branches, but one root in our endeavors. Strong root, power of the sun, strong root, everything we need is here.